Up hackers, welcome back to another episode of Hack Crypto, where we hack all of our Web3 education. If you guys are brand new here, slap a like on this video. It helps get it out to more people, and be subscribed with the notification bell on. It is free, and if you don't like the content, you can unsubscribe, of course. But on this episode, I'm going to be going into XRP20. Now, sitting on the back of the insane news that Ripple is not considered a security under the eyes of the SEC is an incredible achievement for the entire space, and it rippled throughout the entire industry. So many people have been talking about this for so many years, and it has been the #1 conversation around the XRP army for as long as I can remember. Now, I first learned about Ripple back when it was considered Ripple Labs, and it was listed as Ripple Labs on CoinMarketCap, and eventually it worked its way towards pivoting its ticker to XRP. A lot of people don't remember that it wasn't actually XRP when it started, and it became that over time. It got a way cooler new brand and feel, and it became a big deal over the last few years. Ever since the last bull run, it really became front and center, with people like Ashton Kutcher coming out, talking about it on Ellen, about how he just sent her a donation on the Ripple network, and all of these crazy big movements have happened for Ripple. So in walks XRP20. Now, the conversation about Ethereum being the most decentralized and most secure network out there is always up for debate. People are always talking about it from the XRP army, and the Ethereum community are always sort of battling around who is more secure. Given that XRP is kind of a black box that's meant for institutions to use as payment rails, what you have now is XRP20 that is basically mimicking what XRP did from the community, have brought it over and put it on to Ethereum. So it's a really kind of interesting concept where it takes all of the learnings of XRP, they're trying to move it over onto the amazing technology that is Ethereum, and the team is from the XRP army. So it's exciting to see this sort of community spin-off in a way, because this has happened with so many different projects out there. And a lot of times DAOs run this type of initiative where people are spinning out projects where they want their community to be involved, they want to do their own thing, and if they've contributed a ton of value to that community, sometimes it'll fund it through a DAO where people vote on it. Great example of this is Bored Ape Yacht Club, where they started ApeCoin. That created a DAO where people were voting on proposals. So people were spinning off all sorts of projects. Great examples all out there with CyberKongs, people spinning off projects out of that community. And so many vibrant communities have spun out their own projects that eventually get funded by those communities. Now, the thing about XRP20 is that, Ripple by nature is an institutional payment rails concept, and the community itself just sort of hovers around that black box. And I think something interesting here is that they're very much trying to bring that open and transparent aspect to this on Ethereum. So you have this sort of group of individuals in XRP that wanted to start this up. They wanted to create something more open and that could be more inclusive to people in the community that could see what was going on, and ultimately provide staking. And this is a very touchy subject in the United States right now because we're not given very much regulation. So this is kind of intended for people outside of the US, for them to do more research on this. And this is not financial advice by any means. Don't listen to people on the internet. Definitely do your own research. And the links to this will be in the description below. Full disclaimer, this is a sponsored review. I reached out to the team because I saw that they had spun out from the XRP army. And I've talked about the XRP army many times before on the channel and all over the place. And I'm a big fan of the XRP army itself. The project of Ripple, I've been following for probably 5 or 6 years now. And it is a fun, cool concept of institutions using these rails, but there are, a lot of people in the community that have been there for a long time and they want to go do their own thing, and they want to leverage the friends and the relationships they've made in that community. So I think there's a lot of things that go into XRP20 that, I thought was cool, and I always like to bring cool concepts to you guys. And if you have seen other community projects that have spun out of larger blue chip companies on the CoinMarketCap, for example, there's hundreds, if not thousands of them where people want to start their own thing. And I think that that's the beauty. That's actually what started Silicon Valley so rapidly, was they abolished the non-compete agreements where when you normally got terminated or when you signed up for working at a company, you would sign a non-compete agreement and effectively you weren't allowed to compete with them for 3, 4, 5 years in many cases. But Silicon Valley, the reason it got so big so quickly was they abolished that. They said, actually, you know what? If somebody's working at a company and they can do it better, then there's no reason that they shouldn't spin off, do their own thing, compete, and the consumer wins because the best project wins. This brings us to the full concept of XRP20, where they are trying to do stake and earn as passive income. This is once again a big movement for a lot of people in the crypto space that are able to lock up tokens, earn passive income, and especially as a market forms around that, they're able to actually generate legitimate returns over a long period of time. And I think that something that's cool about Ethereum that they can do with XRP20 is a deflationary aspect. They can actually burn tokens, so you can earn and burn. So the burning of this means that it's contracting the supply as people are transacting. And 10% of the total supply is allocated to be burned. So 0.1% of every buy and sell order is burned. It's sent to a burn address where it's burned, and it's a really cool concept to contract the supply. In addition to the 0.1% getting burned in every transaction, and then 10% of the whole supply set aside to be burned, what you have is a staking mechanism where people who are investing early are locking it up, and that is on a DEX, so a decentralized exchange. When people are locking up, and if they're providing liquidity, they're able to get rewards for providing that liquidity. Now, staking is a very, very big space. And if you haven't seen my videos on staking, it's incredible the rewards that you can make and the returns that you can make, but it is very important to know that it is paid in the token. When you see these 500, 1,000% APYs, you need to remember that it is being paid out in that token, and you need to make sure that there is like liquidity there so you can actually exchange it for the token of choice that you want. But ultimately, with projects that you believe in, you can leave them in their stake and earn as the project grows. So if you're earning 200% APY, you're earning more of your tokens and you're following along and investing your time and effort into being part of a community. And I think that there's a lot of really cool things that XRP20 has done around this, but their main emphasis is on like getting in early. So a lot of what they've mentioned in their white paper was that 0.0028 was the all-time low of XRP. So what they're doing is they're very much putting the price points at that and below that. Important to mention that it's made very clear XRP20 is not associated with XRP. That's something that they had mentioned when I talked to them and reached out. I was like, all right, well, is this associated? And they were like, no, this is a community-driven project from the XRP army, and it's 30 times cheaper than the all-time low of XRP, which is 0.0028. And it's starting at 0.00092. So it's interesting to see how that sort of parallel is drawn, where we're not associated with the XRP project. We are part of the community there, and we are 30 times cheaper. So one of the key parts to XRP20 is they're implementing similar tokenomics as XRP. Like that just makes perfect sense. You're basically moving over onto Ethereum and having people in the community contributing to it. And there's 100 billion of these tokens with 40% dedicated to staking. So they're really leaning into the staking and passive income concept. And I think that with 10% allocated to burn, 10% to liquidity on DEXs, you have quite a healthy environment there where people that are staking are making returns. They want to have liquidity, and there's people on the DEX providing liquidity, and you have a lot of really cool mechanisms there to create the ecosystem to jumpstart it, because you need to have liquidity there as the fuel to get people excited, let them know, hey, there is a lot of votes of confidence in this on this decentralized exchange. So the way I see this is that it is an easier to use system than XRP, that the XRP20 team has developed on Ethereum. It's easier to access because it's on Ethereum, it's public, it's transparent, everybody can see what's going on, and the XRP army can rally around. That is it for my overview of XRP20. Definitely check out their site, do your own research. Like I said, this is not financial advice. and the link will be in the description below so you can check out XRP20. I do like the concept of community entirely driven projects where they splinter off from other communities of blue chip projects where maybe they did really well and they want to start something new with similar concepts, taking inspiration from it, and especially on the back of this historic win from Ripple. I think it's really, really cool to watch this type of thing start. And that news is very much everywhere right now. So if you guys are watching this, definitely look that up as well so you can see why it was a win for the community. That is it for this episode of Hack Crypto. Slap a like on this video if you like it. The links will be in the description. Leave a comment what you think about not only XRP20, but XRP itself. And I will see you here on the next episode of Hack Crypto.